10 prospects who could gain value at the trade deadline. Up next on Fantasy Baseball Today Express. Welcome into FBT Express on Thursday, July 24th, 1 week ahead of the trade deadline. I am Frank Stampfl, joined by Scott White. 10 prospects who could gain value at or before the trade deadline. And we will start with this group, Scott. Samuel Basio of the Orioles, Jordan Lawler of the D-backs, Spencer Jones of the Yankees, Owen Casey, and Moises Ballesteros of the Cubs. What are we thinking with that?
Well, let's see. You mentioned one Cub.
Two Cubs.
You mentioned two Cubs. There's another one to come. I'm wearing my Cubs hat right now. They have the most tradable assets. So if they wanted to make a big splash, they seem the most equipped to do so. But of course, not all of the players on this list are gaining value because they could be traded. Samuel Basio's case, it's because Ryan O'Hearn is very likely to be traded out of Baltimore, freeing up that DH first base spot. And Basio should fill it. He should fill it. He has nothing more to prove in the minors. He was my number 2 prospect when I came out with my midseason top 50 about a week ago. He impacts the ball like Kyle Schwarber, great exit velocities for a minor leaguer, and I think has that kind of upside as a hitter. He is technically a catcher, but he's not a catcher, and I think they know it, which is why they didn't call him up to replace Adley Rutschman. Plus, this would be a more permanent opening created in the lineup. They could go with Kobe Mayo instead, I suppose, to fill that O'Hearn spot, but he's gotten a couple chances. It's gone very poorly. I think Basio deserves his look. Jordan Lawler, of course, we've talked about him a lot over the years. He's well overdue for an extended run in the majors, a true job to call his own. And it could go a couple ways here for Lawler at the deadline because it's not clear what the Diamondbacks intend to do, whether they are going to be buyers or sellers. They're right there in the middle. I think the most likely scenario is they're sellers, and I think their best asset to sell is Eugenio Suarez, their third baseman. I know the Yankees are one team that would be interested in him. And if that happened, there you go. Third base is Lawler's, maybe for the next decade. At that point, finally gets his opening. If they decide to be buyers, then maybe it's Lawler himself who gets moved. And again, with as overdue as he is for an opportunity, I imagine he'd enter the lineup of whatever team acquired him. Spencer Jones looks like a great asset for the Yankees all of a sudden. His prospect stock has been like a roller coaster over the years. He dropped off every major top 100 list coming into the season because it just looked like he was getting buried by strikeouts, even in the minors. And for as much raw power as he has, big 6'7" guy, he wasn't actualizing it. Well, he's actualized it now. He's homered 10 times in his last 17 games. I don't know that that's even updated with the latest information. 10 times in his last 17 games, 16 times in his last 30. The power has come for Spencer Jones. This is both the result of him improving his launch angle with some offseason work. And also very recently, coinciding with this hot streak, Spencer Jones changed his batting stance in a way that he thinks helps him react to pitches quicker. We're seeing the results, obviously. So Spencer Jones' prospect stock is taking off again. He still has major strikeout concerns, like Joey Gallo level strikeout concerns. And maybe the Yankees will decide, okay, this is our chance to cash in on him and not have to worry about the strikeouts maybe tanking his future. And if that's the case, Spencer Jones, again, he's doing this at AAA. Wherever he goes, probably a very short path to the majors at that point. And then the two Cubs here, Owen Casey and Moises Ballesteros. Casey, I think, is the most likely prospect to be traded of anybody because, he's blocked twice over with the state of the Cubs outfield right now. They have an outfielder fixed in the DH spot. It's Seiya Suzuki. So I just don't know where the path exists for Owen Casey. And he's sort of like Spencer Jones, where he always had that raw power. He's actualized it this year. Already has more home runs than last year in only 78 games. And good on base skills. I think he's ready for his big league opportunity since it won't come with the Cubs. We want it to come with somebody else. finally, Ballesteros blocked twice over himself as a catcher. Carson Kelly, an unexpected star this year. He's signed for another year with the Cubs. They got Miguel Amaya soon to come back from the IL. Ballesteros doesn't really profile as a catcher long-term anyway. And because he's 5'7", first base is kind of a reach as well. Quite literally, I mean that. And I've already pointed out, DH occupied, Seiya Suzuki. So a rebuilding team could pursue any of those three avenues for Ballesteros, at least in the short term, catcher, first base, DH. But the Cubs, he's blocked at all three. Good trade asset for them.
All right, let's take a quick break, and we'll be back right after this. Welcome back in FBT Express. 5 more prospects who could gain value at the trade deadline. We have Justin Crawford with the Phillies, JJ Weatherhold with the Cardinals, Tyler Locklear with the Mariners, CJ Kayfus with the Guardians, and Kevin Alcantra of the Cubs. JJ Weatherhold, by the way, just had a huge game on Wednesday where he hit 2 more home runs at AAA. So we are in agreement, Scott. I believe in JJ Weatherhold.
Yeah, I don't think there's anybody doubting his prospect credentials. It's just a question of how soon until he contributes. And yeah, I was only drafted last year, but the fact he's at AAA and already having big performances there, it seems like a guy on the fast track. And the quickest way to get him to the majors, I think, would be to trade Nolan Arenado, which the Cardinals would be happy to do, to unload that salary. They tried to do it, and the rest of that contract. They tried to do it this offseason. He declined the deal, so he has a role in this as well. He has to approve the deal himself. But surely that's something they'll be trying to do at the deadline, is move him, and then they could shift Brendan Donovan to third base and introduce JJ Weatherhold as their second baseman. It may not happen on August 1st, but before the end of August, I think it's likely to happen. Justin Crawford's a really interesting case because he's exactly the sort of unconventional prospect that a team loaded with talent would be happy to cash in on, while a team that's short on talent would be happy just to try him out, because it could go very wrong. He has performed at a high level all the way through AAA, but he hasn't made the necessary adjustments that would make him better suited for the modern game, which is to say he hasn't learned to elevate. And so the exit velocities Justin Crawford delivers are kind of wasted. I still think it might work because he has elite speed, very good contact skills, an opposite field approach. I think he could be that rare sort of batting average stolen base standout, which is sort of what his dad, Carl Crawford, was. You know, he had some years with 15 plus homers, but mainly he was a stud in fantasy because of batting average and stolen bases. We haven't seen a lot of that in the 20 years since Carl Crawford. But Justin Crawford is ready for a major league look, and it's not going to come with the Phillies. So maybe they could cash him in and just unload that risk on a rebuilding team. That'd be happy to take it on. Tyler Locklear, I have to spotlight him here because, look, the Mariners could call him up right now. They have Luke Raley and Ben Williamson starting every day, and they've suffered through that enough. Like Tyler Locklear, you know, they could find a spot for him if they wanted to. I don't know if they're keeping it open just so they could look at the trade market first, maybe solve their first base situation that way. But Tyler Locklear is demanding attention right now. He has had back-to-back 4-hit games. He's 8 for his last 8, 3 home runs during that time. He has been on a power binge, 12 home runs in his past 27 games. He did get a look in the majors last year. It didn't go well, but given the difficulty curve for hitters over in recent years, my rule is it takes like 2 months of uninterrupted play for us to pass judgment on them. I think Tyler Locklear is earning a second look. Last 3 here, or last 2, I should say, real quick. CJ Kayfus of the Guardians, similar situation to Locklear, where the Guardians could call him up now, but I think it'll be a lot easier to if they trade Carlos Santana, which would be very easy to trade if the Guardians decide they're out of it. CJ Kayfus has shown good on base skills, pretty good pop for a first baseman. a profile not that unlike Carlos Santana, actually. And then finally, Kevin Alcantara of the Cubs. Same situation as Owen Casey, outfielder who's ready for a major league opportunity, and there's just no room with the Cubs. I don't think he's as good as Casey, or at least he hasn't realized his potential as well as Casey has, but he's strong and athletic, and I could see a team like the Marlins potentially getting a lot of playing time out of Kevin Alcantara. Maybe an Alcantara for Alcantara trade. Who knows?
That would be fun.
They probably need more than just Kevin Alcantara to move on from Sandy, but he could be part of that trade.
For more extensive fantasy baseball coverage, listen to our full-length podcast, Fantasy Baseball Today, on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or anywhere else podcasts are found. Thanks for listening to Fantasy Baseball Today Express, and we will be back again tomorrow. Bye-bye.